In-depth interpretation of the Analects. Introduction. Why does Confucius, who never spoke of success, influence millennia? A slim collection of sayings, 20 chapters, over 500 passages, records the words and deeds of a man from 2,500 years ago in a chaotic world, yet it remains the soul of Chinese culture. The Analects, a compilation of dialogues between Confucius and his disciples, lacks thrilling stories or lofty academic jargon. Yet, with plain words, it lights the way for countless lives. Why does it still captivate modern readers across millennia? Let's step into Confucius' world to explore how this classic, with its simple words, answers life's eternal questions. Chapter 1. Benevolence and Love, Igniting the Inner Flame. What is benevolence? It's the core question in the Analects. Confucius said, "The benevolent love others." Seemingly simple, it's a flame that illuminates the essence of humanity and society. In the chaotic spring and autumn period, when rituals collapsed and warlords vied for power, Confucius proposed benevolence as a remedy for the world, not just emotional care but action and responsibility. Guanzhong, a statesman of the Warring States period, embodied benevolence. He assisted Duke Huan of Qi, implementing reforms that made Qi a dominant power. Guanzhong was no saint. He was exiled 3 times and even defected to enemies for survival. Yet, his ambition was always to benefit the nation and its people, improving livelihoods and stabilizing society. In the Analects Shanwen, Confucius praised, Guanzhong helped Duke Huan unite the states, and the people still benefit today. Guanzhong's benevolence lay in prioritizing national welfare over personal gain. He reformed taxes to ease farmers' burdens and boosted trade, ensuring prosperity for Qi's people. This actionable love transcended empty moralizing. Guanzhong's benevolence also showed in his care for ordinary people. The records of the Grand Historian notes his equal transport law, stabilizing grain prices to secure farmers' livelihoods in good and bad years. This simple policy addressed the urgent needs of a chaotic era. Guanzhong said, "A prosperous people means a secure state." His benevolence was both sweeping reform and attention to detail. He established local schools, encouraging people to learn etiquette and skills, elevating society's quality. This comprehensive care, from small acts to grand policies, was the practice of benevolence Confucius admired. The idea of benevolence endures through history. Han Dynasty scholar Jia Yi, influenced by Confucius, proposed benevolent governance in his new writings, advocating lighter taxes and milder punishments. He petitioned Emperor Wen of Han to rule with compassion, reducing the people's burdens. Though not fully realized, Jia Yi's efforts left a legacy of benevolence conquers all, echoing Confucius' benevolent love. In modern times, benevolence takes many forms. South African leader Nelson Mandela showed another dimension of benevolence. During 27 years of imprisonment, he faced oppressors with forgiveness, later leading South Africa to racial reconciliation and peace. His words, "Forgiveness liberates the soul. It's the most powerful weapon," resonate with Confucius' benevolent love. Mandela visited his former jailers, even inviting them to dinner, an act that stunned the world and eased racial hatred. Benevolence also shines in everyday acts. In Shanghai, bus driver Master Wang has provided heartfelt service for a decade. Once, when an elderly passenger was lost and anxious, Wang patiently guided him and even drove him home after his shift. His actions touched the city, earning him the title Shanghai's Living Leifang. Master Wang said, "Helping others helps yourself," echoing Confucius' teaching, to establish oneself, establish others. The charm of benevolence lies in its ubiquity. Whether you're a powerful leader or an ordinary person, benevolence guides your actions. Have you ever offered a kind word to a struggling friend? Or lend a hand to a stranger in need? How does benevolence light a lamp in your life? In today's world, Eileen Carter, a British charity leader, embodies benevolence's charm. She launched an education project in London's poorest communities, personally visiting families to secure schooling for children. Despite skepticism, she said, helping one person lights a lamp. With limited resources, Eileen and volunteers gave hundreds of children learning opportunities. Her actions echo Confucius' love others, proving benevolence depends not on wealth but on intent. Benevolence is not just emotion, it's a choice. In the workplace, choosing to listen rather than ignore, or to help rather than stand by, is the start of benevolence. Confucius said, Do not impose on others what you do not desire. This simple advice urges us to ask, does my action bring warmth to others? Benevolence is an inner flame and a guide for action. How do you understand benevolence? How does it shine in your life? Chapter 2. The function of ritual. Harmony as the goal. Ritual in the Analects is society's glue. Confucius said, the function of ritual is harmony. In the spring and autumn period, ritual was more than ceremony, it was the code for order between people and states. Ritual fosters harmony, curbs desires, and resolves conflicts. Zhangzi, a devoted disciple of Confucius, was a model of ritual. In the Analects Taibo, though gravely ill, Zhangzi insisted on adjusting his bed mat to honor propriety. His act, seemingly trivial, conveyed a belief: ritual is dignity, a bridge for human relationships. Zhangzi said, I examine myself thrice daily. His adherence to ritual was not just form, but a guard of inner order. His story shaped Confucian reverence for ritual, a model for self-cultivation and family harmony. Today, ritual is everywhere. In Tokyo, Yamamoto, owner of a century-old shop, is known for his courtesy. He greets every customer personally, listens to their needs, and offers a warm word even in busy times. His shop became a community beacon, drawing endless customers. Yamamoto said, ritual is respect. It makes people feel seen. Once, when a regular customer was down after losing his job, Yamamoto gave him free pastries with an encouraging note. This small act restored the customer's confidence, making him a loyal patron. Yamamoto's ritual extends to his employees. He meets weekly with staff, listens to their struggles, and adjusts schedules for single mothers to balance family life. This care fosters loyalty, doubling workplace efficiency. Yamamoto said, ritual is mutual. Respecting others gives you dignity. His approach made his shop not just a business, but a community haven. Ritual's wisdom shines in ancient China too. Warring states diplomat Qin was renowned for his courtesy. He persuaded 6 states to unite against Qin, remaining humble despite their ruler's arrogance. The records of the grand historian notes that, though insulted in Zhao, Qin responded with respect, ultimately convincing its king to join the alliance. His ritual was not weakness, but wisdom, earning trust through respect. In the Analects Jishi, Confucius said, the essence of ritual is to align the heart. Qin's story proves ritual's power in complex relationships. In today's workplace, ritual is a key to success. Mary Jensen, a U.S. tech executive, manages her team with courtesy. In meetings, she listens to every voice, even interns, without interruption. She created Gratitude Day, encouraging team members to thank each other. Mary said, respect builds team unity. Her approach boosted morale, leading to successful innovations. Mary's methods echo Confucius' harmony is precious, proving ritual's value in modern management. Ritual thrives in daily life too. In Beijing, community volunteer Miss Zhang organizes neighborhood events with care. She prepares name tags and arranges seats to ensure elders and children are comfortable. After one event, a lonely elder said, Miss Zhang made me feel valued. Her courtesy warmed the community. Ritual is a lubricant for human connection, reducing conflict and easing cooperation. Have you ever stepped back in an argument, felt the power of respect in serving others? How does ritual make your life more harmonious? Ritual isn't rigid rules, but a bond that warms relationships. In teamwork, proactive communication and respect for others' views are modern rituals. Confucius said, without learning ritual, one cannot stand. Imagine listening in a meeting instead of rushing to speak. Does it foster harmony? How does ritual resolve conflict and deepen understanding in your life? Chapter 3. Filial piety and fraternity, the foundation of harmony. Filial piety is the ethical cornerstone of the Analects. Confucius said, disciples, be filial at home, fraternal abroad. Filial piety is not just supporting parents, but heartfelt respect. Fraternity is brotherly love, extending to care for others. Yan Hui, Confucius' favorite disciple, was renowned for filial piety. In the Analects Weizang, though poor and living simply, Yan Hui never complained, always honoring his parents. He shared his meager earnings with family, content with poverty. Confucius praised, Yan Hui's heart never strayed from benevolence for 3 months. Yan Hui's filial piety was not just action but a deep sense of family duty. He said, while parents live, do not wander far. This devotion made him Confucius' moral exemplar. Yan Hua's story reminds us, filial piety is not just material support but emotional companionship. Today, Swedish activist Greta Thunberg redefines filial piety. At 16, she launched a climate strike, saying, "I fight for my parents' future, for our descendants' home." Her actions, beyond traditional filial piety, embrace responsibility for the human family, inspiring millions of youths globally. Greta's filial piety also shows in her family support. Though her parents initially opposed her strikes, she convinced them through dialogue, gaining their backing. In her memoir, she wrote, "I fight for my family and their beliefs." Her efforts turned parental doubt into pride, strengthening their bond. This modern filial piety echoes Confucius' filial piety as the foundation. In ancient times, Zhengzi's mother was another model. In the Analects of Confucius said, "A filial son serves parents with utmost respect." When his elderly mother was frail, Zhengzi cooked her porridge daily, tending to her needs. Once, when she fell ill, he stayed up all night, tasting her medicine to ensure comfort. His care beyond duty upheld his mother's dignity, inspiring neighbors and setting a standard for filial piety. Today, filial piety is diverse. Australian Dr. Alan Brown stayed in a hospital during a pandemic to care for critical patients. He connected weekly with his parents via video, sharing work stories to ease their worries. Alan said, "I can't always be with my parents, but I make them proud." His filial piety, transcending distance, embodies Confucius' be filial at home. Filial piety extends to friendship. In Guangzhou, young Lin Hao helped a friend through a failed startup, lending money and offering weekly walks to listen. Lin Hao said, "Friends are like brothers. Helping them helps me." His actions echo Confucius' fraternal abroad, making friendship a pillar of life. Filial piety and fraternity are the roots of social harmony. Have you ever used your parents' burdens when they were tired? Stood by a friend in need? How does filial piety warm your life? Filial piety starts family harmony and grounds society. Spending time with parents or caring for friends embodies it. Imagine setting aside your phone for a family meal. Does it warm your home? Have you overlooked a loved one's greeting in your busyness? How does filial piety root your life? Chapter 4, Loyalty and Trust. The power of integrity. Loyalty in the Analects is the core of fidelity and honesty. Confucius said, "Without trust, a person cannot stand." Loyalty and trust are not just personal virtues, but the foundation of relationships. Mencius, a Warring States scholar influenced by Confucius, upheld loyalty. When serving in Qi, he resigned rather than compromise on unjust orders. In the Analects Gong I Cheng, Confucius praised Zigong, "Ci, you are ready to discuss poetry." Zigong earned trust through honesty, convincing states in diplomacy. Sent to Lu, facing Qi's pressure, Zigong's sincerity persuaded nations, saving Lu. This power of trust made him a diplomatic legend. Today, Canadian entrepreneur James Holt is known for integrity. During a financial crisis, he kept promises to employees, refusing layoffs despite losses. He told his team, "I'd rather lose money than trust." His integrity won loyalty, turning his company profitable and a model in its field. James' story shows trust is more precious than wealth. His loyalty extended to clients. When a client canceled a deal over a misunderstanding, James apologized in person and extended services for free, regaining trust. His company secured long-term contracts, doubling performance. James said, "Honesty is the foundation of business," echoing Confucius, "Without trust, one cannot stand." In ancient times, Sheng Yang exemplified loyalty. In the Analects Yin Yuan, Confucius said, "Speak with loyalty and act with respect." During Qin's reforms, Sheng Yang built trust by promising 50 taels for moving a pole, rewarding it instantly when done. This won the people's trust, enabling Qin's reforms and rise. Sheng Yang's integrity proved loyalty's power in governance. Today, loyalty shapes success. Korean entrepreneur Kim Ji-yoon, running a small design firm, delivered projects on time despite clients' delayed payments, resolving issues through open communication. Her honesty won back payments and more orders. Kim said, "Trust is the bridge to cooperation," echoing Confucius' praise of loyalty. Loyalty shines in daily life. In Hangzhou, courier Liu Chang delivers on time, even in storms. Once, he rushed through the night to deliver urgent documents. His reliability made him the community's messenger, earning widespread praise. Loyalty is the bond of human connection. Have you kept a promise to the end? Chosen honesty in a trust crisis? How does loyalty strengthen your relationships? Loyalty is the cornerstone of collaboration. In work, keeping promises and communicating openly embodies it. Imagine honoring a tough commitment to a colleague. Does it earn respect? Confucius said, "With loyalty, you have no lesser friends." How does loyalty shape your relationships? Chapter 5: Wisdom and Learning, the Key to Self-Improvement. Learning and practicing it, is it not delightful? Opens the Analects, highlighting learning's importance. Confucius believed wisdom comes from continuous learning and practice, the keys to life. Zilu, known for bravery, transformed through learning. In the Analects, Zilu started brash, but through studying ritual and music, became a wise gentleman. Confucius praised, You've entered the hall." Zilu once offended nobles with impulsiveness, but Confucius' teachings helped him navigate challenges wisely, becoming a pillar of Lu. His change proves learning can alter fate. Today, Indian engineer Pranav Mistry exemplifies learning. Self-taught in programming, he developed sixth sense technology, blending virtual and real worlds, revolutionizing human-computer interaction. From a modest background, Pranav overcame limits through self-study, sharing his work at global tech conferences. He said, "Learning is the key to the future." His story echoes Confucius' praise of learning. Knowledge changes destiny, practice builds wisdom. Pranav's learning included reflecting on failure. After a failed prototype, he analyzed issues, refined algorithms, and launched Sixth Sense. His persistence reflects Confucius' practice what you learn. In ancient times, Zigong was another model. In the Analects Gongai Chang, Zigong mastered ritual and observation. Traveling with Confucius, he studied cultures, adapting to each state's challenges, becoming a key diplomatic aid. Confucius praised, you excel in governance." Zigong's learning showed wisdom comes from accumulation and application. Today, learning's power is universal. U.S. teacher Lisa Thompson reformed education through self-studied psychology, creating interactive classes that turned passive students into explorers. Her classroom became a national model, boosting student performance. Lisa said, "Learning made me a better teacher," echoing Confucius' praise of study. Learning thrives in the workplace. In Shenzhen, programmer Zhang Wei, initially average, studied algorithms daily, becoming a team leader in 6 months. His growth reflects Confucius' practice regularly. Learning is wisdom's source. Have you chosen study over giving up in tough times? Discovered potential through practice? How do wisdom and learning enrich your life? Learning elevates thought, not just knowledge. In work, learning new skills and reflecting on mistakes embodies wisdom. When facing challenges, do you study instead of retreat? Have you found joy in learning? How does wisdom light your future? Chapter 6: The Doctrine of the Mean, the Art of Balance. The doctrine of the mean in the Analects is the wisdom of moderation. Confucius said, "The virtue of the mean is supreme." The mean isn't mediocrity but perfect balance, pursuing excellence without extremes. Warring States statesman Yan Ying embodied this. As Qi's prime minister, he faced powerful nobles, neither confronting rashly nor yielding meekly, resolving crises with wisdom to protect the state. In the Analects Yang Yi, Confucius praised, "Yan Pingzong excels in relationships, earning lasting respect." Yan Ying tactfully curbed the duke's extravagance, balancing loyalty and national interest. His mean balanced principle and compromise. Today, German psychologist Anna Schmidt applies the mean in team management. In high-pressure projects, she balances efficiency and employee well-being, adjusting pace for harmony. She shared, "Once, my team clashed over deadlines. I didn't force them but held a team-building activity, easing tensions." Her approach completed projects on time while strengthening unity. Mean also shines in conflict resolution. When her team argued over resources, she avoided taking sides, facilitating a brainstorming session for consensus. Her balance refocused the team. Anna said, "The mean is the art of finding the best path." In ancient times, Guanzhong exemplified the mean. In the Analects Shanwen, Confucius called him a practitioner of the mean. Assisting Duke Huan, Guanzhong balanced rival states' interests through diplomacy and economics, making Qi a hegemon. Today, the mean applies widely. New Zealand entrepreneur Tom Wilson promoted green products, balancing radical environmentalists and profit-driven businesses. His balanced approach won broad support, making his company an industry leader. Tom said, "Balance is the cornerstone of success. The mean thrives in daily life." Shanghai office worker Li now balances work and family by scheduling family time while staying efficient. Her approach brings order. Li Na said, "The mean gives my life rhythm." The mean is wisdom's reflection. Have you found balance in conflict? Adjusted under pressure? How does the mean bring calm to your life? The mean is life's art, finding balance between work and rest, persistence and compromise. When work and life clash, do you find equilibrium? Have you lost yourself in extremes? How does the mean guide your choices? Chapter 7. Cultivate self, harmonize family, govern state, pacify world. The Analects goes beyond personal growth to the grand ideal of governing and pacifying the world. Confucius said, "Cultivate self, harmonize family, govern state, pacify world." This is Confucianism's ultimate pursuit, progressing from personal virtue to societal harmony. Disciple Rankia exemplified this. In the Analects Shanjin, governing the Ji clan's land in Lu, Rankia ruled with benevolence, improving lives and ensuring stability. Not naturally gifted, he embodied Confucius' teachings through self-cultivation, becoming a renowned minister. Rankia's story shows self-cultivation is the start of governance. Personal virtue shapes societal impact. Today, Singapore's Lee Kuan Yew echoed this. His integrity and discipline transformed Singapore from a poor nation to a prosperous one. He said, "A nation's fate depends on its leader's character." Through strict anti-corruption and education policies, he built stability and growth. His practice reflects Confucius' cultivate self, govern state. Self-cultivation and family harmony are not just personal goals, but societal duties. In daily life, small acts like honesty and family care are the start. Have you upheld principles in small matters? How does self-cultivation let you impact the world? Epilogue. Confucius' wisdom lights modern life. The Analects is a beacon, shining through 2,500 years. It doesn't teach chasing success but how to be human. It offers no shortcuts but points to inner direction. Benevolence teaches us to love, ritual, to respect, filial piety, to cherish family, loyalty, to uphold trust, learning, to grow, the mean, to balance, and self-cultivation, to influence the world. In today's world, Confucius' wisdom remains vibrant. Whether you're a workplace novice or a corporate leader, in triumph or adversity, the Analects guides you. When facing conflict, can you resolve it with harmony is precious? When lost, can learn and practice show the way? When chasing goals, can the mean keep you balanced? Confucius said, "Hear the way in the morning, die content at night." Let's draw wisdom from the Analects, ignite our hearts, and face life's challenges boldly. Are you ready to write your own chapter with Confucius wisdom?